John 8:32. We all know this scripture very well. It says, "And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free." Every one of us want to be free. Free from oppression, free from depression, free from debts, and free from everything. But do you realize how responsible or how serious freedom is all about? I want you to understand that you cannot have freedom without responsibility. Do you know the luxury of slavery? There is no responsibility. When you are a slave, you don't have to worry about your food, you don't have to worry about your clothes, you don't have to worry about your provisions or your shelter or anything. Your master worries about it, and you just do what your master tells you. You have everything, but you are not free. You know, if you look at the life of Israelites, they were slaves in Egypt. Then God brought them out of that slavery, and they crossed Red Sea, and they were in the desert. Now, no doubt they were out of the slavery, but I can say that they were not yet free. You know why? Because slavery was in their heart. When you have slavery in your heart, you cannot be free. But then God was taking them from the desert to the land of Canaan, and they had to cross the Jordan River. And you know, if you look at the status of the people of Israel before Red Sea, after Red Sea, and after Jordan, all different. Before Red Sea, they were slaves, and between Red Sea and the River Jordan, they were not slaves, they were delivered, but they were not yet free. It was only after crossing Jordan that they were free. But I want you to understand what was happening over there. You know, when they were in desert, they didn't have to worry about food. God provided them manna. They didn't have to worry about water. God provided them water. But in the land of Canaan, which was the promised land, manna stopped. They didn't have a rock that was following them to give them water. They had to cook their own food. You know, actually, they had to sow, and they had to reap, and they had to find their own food. They had to dig their own wells. They were free. Remember, they were free, but the provisions were not as they were when they were in desert. Because when you start moving in freedom, everything changes. You have a responsibility to do certain things. And my brothers and sisters, when we talk about the truth and when we talk about being free, you must understand that Bible is talking about increased responsibility in your life. When they were in desert, miraculously God protected them from everything. But in the land of Canaan, they had to take sword, they had to fight the battles, and they had to win their victories. In the land of, in the desert, they didn't have to stitch new clothes. These clothes did not grow old. Bible says, you know what that means is, even as children were growing, their clothes were growing along with their bodies. But when they were in the free land, a land where they had freedom, they had to stitch their own clothes. Rather, they had to spin their own thread, and then they had to, weave their own cloth, and they had to stitch their own clothes. Responsibility, my brothers and my sisters. So I encourage you not to take your freedom lightly. When you want to enjoy freedom that God is promising you, you must understand that freedom is also with responsibility. My brothers and sisters, enjoy your freedom, enjoy your responsibility. God bless you.